Man, that's good. You can't beat a fresh mango. Jesus, that's awesome. The Noble Pursuit is a cocktail that Link uses to drown his sorrows after failing to rescue Zelda in the city of Hyrule in 2027 from Ganon and his band of cyberpunk badland riders.
Danger present.
Little late, Navi.
Okay, I'm joking. That was a dreadful joke anyway. The Noble Pursuit is a cocktail served in the Noble Canteen in Breath of the Wild, Nintendo's breakthrough Zelda game, which really reinforced the aspect of open-ended gameplay into the Legend of Zelda series, which really built upon the open-world core mechanics. As a result, making open-world gaming even less linear than it had been in the past. It was also the first of the Zelda series to include voice acting.
I beg your pardon? I do believe that is my baked apple.
Which really sort of transformed that series as we know and love it, and what we can expect from it in the future. And I really don't think that it's too much of an exorbitant claim to say that it's one of the most critically acclaimed open world video games out there, at the very least in recent history. But the Noble Pursuit, a libation of alcoholic nature, only appears in name in Breath of the Wild, during the mission The Perfect Drink, served by Gerudo in his bar, the Noble Canteen, in which Link has to retrieve one of the cocktails for a woman dying of dehydration instead of, no, I don't know, water and basic medical attention. We get a much better look at the drink during the game Age of Calamity, where we are provided with this wonderful PNG of the drink, which gives me a really good working basis to go off of. Link's party are also taught how to make a mocktail version of the drink, which describes it as, and I quote, "a blend of tropical juices that does the original justice." We are also given the ingredients for this mocktail version, which are given as 3 palm fruit, 3 hydromelon, 3 volt fruit, and 3 rock salt. The palm fruit in this regard is very obviously a mango, especially as you can see the way it's garnished on the side of the drink. And the way that it's described as growing on palm trees, which I think mangoes do. The hydromelon is also very obviously just a melon. I couldn't find any real world match for the volt fruit, although I may be mistaken. I might have missed some, native fruits from some small nation that I forgot to look at. And of course, 3 rock salt, I'm pretty sure is just rock salt.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
However, the presentation of the drink, and us knowing that it's a blend of tropical juices, this just screams tiki for me. So when deciding on a direction to come up for this drink, I thought immediately to go in a tiki direction with, a base of rum in particular. However, I didn't want to go down the route of having a particularly complex tiki drink because I really wanted to stay somewhat true to the limited ingredients that we are provided with in Age of Calamity. So when considering the blend of tropical juices and also looking at the little PNG that we have and the ingredient, which very much looks like a mango, of course I went straight for my first ingredient for a mango. So what I've done is I've taken one of those and I basically just pureed it. So scooped out all the fruit, blended it, passed it through a sieve, and this is going to be a shaken drink. And the first thing we are going to need is going to be half an ounce of our mango puree. We are also going to need 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. We are going to need half an ounce of honey syrup. And this honey syrup that I've made is, I think, roughly between a 1-to-1 and a 2-to-1 ratio. I didn't honestly do it too accurately when perhaps I maybe should have. We are going to need 1 ounce of a good quality white rum. So I'm reaching for my ever trusty 3-year-old Havana Club. And 1 ounce of a Jamaican rum. I'm going to shake this over ice. And I'm going to be serving it in this nice beer glass. I didn't quite have a beer glass which matched the image shown to us in Age of Calamity, but I thought it would look quite nice in this anyway. And before we pour this in, if you look at the little icon that we have, we can see there's actually a little bit of a gradation in the drink. It's slightly redder at the bottom than it is orange at the top. So what I've decided to do is take just a 1/4 ounce of Campari and put that into the bottom of the glass. And I think hopefully that's going to give us a little bit of gradation. And the Campari actually, weirdly enough, goes quite nice with all these ingredients. So I'm just going to open pour this without trying to disperse the Campari too much. To top it up with ice, and for a garnish, I'm going to cut a little wedge of mango. And I'm going to add a maraschino cherry. And there you have it, my imagined version of the noble pursuit as seen in Breath of the Wild and the Age of Calamity. I'm really happy with the way that this gradation turned out, as well as our garnish. I think that, aside from the glass choice, that this is actually really quite close to what we see in that tiny little icon that we get, so cheers. That is uber refreshing. Because that mango is so pure in there, it's just in puree form. That really comes through and hits you right away, followed up immediately by that little bit of Jamaican rum that's also bringing on the flavors of the honey and the lime. It's absolutely fantastic. And this Campari at the bottom, this is going to slowly dissipate throughout the glass, and that's going to add a nice sweet orangey bitterness to the flavor we already have going on. In fact, maybe sticking a straw in here and jostling up a little bit wouldn't be a bad idea. I know we don't see one in the little icon we get, but I think that's going to be a really good idea here. And getting that Campari off the bottom, yeah, just adds this whole other side to it. And because it's only a small amount, it doesn't overshadow anything else that's going on here. It's a perfect tiki drink as well. And because mango isn't something I really see very often, if at all, in cocktails. In fact, this is the first mango cocktail I think that I've ever had. And some might be able to tell that I'm not such a die-hard Legend of Zelda fan. I was always a Super Mario Brothers kid myself. Maybe I should do a Super Mario cocktail next. I don't know. I don't know how much of a reach it would be to do a cocktail based off of the power-ups, like a mushroom or a fire flower or something like that. I don't know. I think Mario's far too family-friendly to have something as devilish as a consumption of alcohol in it. Blimey. You know, kidnap's fine, obviously, but alcohol is where they draw the line, okay? Thanks once again for joining me for In the Drink. I've had an absolute blast of a time bringing you the noble pursuit from Breath of the Wild, and an even better time drinking it. And if you enjoy my content, please subscribe, because I try to get videos out like this as often as I can. Cheers guys, and I will see you next time. Oh, there's some maraschino cherry. Yeah.